Every morning, millions of us walk out the front door and navigate our daily commute on total muscle memory. I remember walking down my own street, a route I've taken hundreds of times. I was deep in thought, staring straight ahead, until a horn blared and I realized I was about to step directly into the path of a delivery truck that had been rerouted onto my block. To understand why this happens, look at this side-by-side diagram. On the left, you see a static representation of a known street. When we enter a familiar environment, our brain conserves energy by shutting down active perception and relying on this stored, static map. But as the dynamic version on the right shows, the real world keeps moving. Because of that energy-saving mode, we become blind to active, dangerous new patterns moving through the places we think we know best. You can manually override this mental state using a concrete 3-step behavioral routine designed to force observation. It takes exactly 10 seconds. We call it the familiarity reset. Surviving routine environments requires us to actively push back against our brain's default setting for comfort. The conference venues and foreign streets you visited for years can still surprise you. True observational wisdom means applying the high-alert vigilance of foreign travel to your daily, local routines. Before we break down the steps, pick one specific, highly familiar location in your life. Maybe it's your office lobby or the crosswalk near your house. Hold that image in your mind so you can mentally practice this routine as we go. Step 1 is the physical pause. You execute this right before crossing the threshold into that familiar space. Stop walking. Hold your position for 2 full seconds. Consciously acknowledge to yourself that contexts shift, familiar locations change. People often fail here because they try to simply look around while maintaining their normal walking pace. That does not work. Without a hard physical interruption, your brain retains its forward momentum. It will never exit its dangerous autopilot state, making any actual observation impossible. Once you have stopped, do not rely on your eyes yet. Sound often precedes visual cues of danger, giving you an early warning system. That brings us to step 2, the acoustic audit. This diagram breaks down a typical soundscape. Before opening your eyes, mentally isolate 3 distinct sounds. You are listening for anomalies, trying to catch a disruptive spike that does not belong. You also need to listen for the exact opposite indicator, the sudden, unnatural absence of normal background noise. This entire audio audit takes less than 3 seconds. Prioritizing acoustic data strips away your visual biases of what you expect to see. It reveals hidden environmental shifts before they ever enter your line of sight. Now you bring your eyes back into the equation. You must look for specific deviations in normal physical patterns. This is the final step, the pattern scan. In this top-down grid, the technique requires a systematic visual sweep. You move your eyes deliberately from left to right and from near to far. Direct your attention to finding diverted foot traffic, new physical barriers, or unusual crowd behavior. Avoid blind looking. Do not passively absorb the entire street scene as a single image. You are actively hunting for one specific physical change. Applying a seasoned traveler's vigilance to your local streets transforms invisible hazards into obvious, avoidable obstacles. You have now mentally rehearsed the routine. Pause. Notice unfamiliar sounds. Observe changed patterns. Familiar locations change constantly. Seasoned teachers understand that vigilance matters most in the places we think we know well. Experience means never letting your guard down on known routes. Here is your challenge. Deploy these 3 exact steps on tomorrow morning's commute and force yourself to find one specific thing that has changed. True situational awareness is not about fearing the unknown. It is about actively investigating the familiar.